love you more.
But in 2022, then Richmond County Deputy Diana Santiago was recorded at least 27 times talking to an inmate at the Greene County Jail, putting your safety and the safety of her fellow deputies at risk. We'll get to that inmate in just a minute, but first, let's talk about those calls. In about half of them, Deputy Santiago is in uniform.
I'm only doing it to make money for you, as I would do that bullshit.
And yes, she's actually driving her patrol car in this video call.
I try not to work with rappers or anybody.
In some calls, she appears to be on duty.
Damn, he really trying to get a fucking ticket.
Who?
He just flying down here like an idiot, like he don't see a car right here.
At one point, she shows him where she is working. And another time, he brings up a gang by name.
Where you at?
Shirley Avenue.
Shirley, don't load.
I know.
Again, this was 2022. Fast forward to 2025 and Santiago's arrest in October. Documents show her connection to that same gang.
LOE, lawyers say over everything.
According to her recent arrest warrant, she admitted to an intimate relationship with a member of LOE. It also says she admitted to visiting that member while she was on duty and using the Richmond County Sheriff's Office databases to look up information for him. That suspect is not the same person in these videos. This inmate is Raheem Brown, who at the time was facing felony drug charges in Greene County, but that's not all. Brown was arrested when he was out on bond on murder and armed robbery charges for a shooting that killed a man in 2021 at the Budgetel on 5th Street in Augusta. Brown is also a convicted felon.
I love you so much.
I love you too so much.
According to Santiago's disciplinary file, it was well known around the jail Brown was in a relationship with a deputy, which isn't surprising considering these video calls are out in the open. You can even see her in uniform waving to another inmate. She's also listed as Raheem Brown's wife on his visitation information. Someone reported all of this to Internal Affairs at the Richmond County Sheriff's Office in 2022, and Santiago didn't deny it. It's no secret.
Yo. That's mean work. Damn. And shout out to my man's from way back. We had a conversation about this shit, man. Women with this obsession with dealing with inmates, man. What's up with that? I'm thinking to myself, all right, you are the reason why nobody has a lot of faith in the justice system. At least you're a part of it. You're not entirely responsible for some of the stuff we got issues with, but you're definitely a part of the reason why we don't really trust law enforcement. Oh, I have so many questions. Your initial take on the clip.
Man, it's just another example of people in control and power and abusing their power.
Do we have the same level of respect for the badge, for the uniform anymore that we used to?
Yeah, that's all based on who you're talking to. A lot of people don't necessarily respect the badge, never have, or what it represented. But it just speaks to the issues that we have in society today, man. You know, everywhere you look, it's got something to do with sex.
Yeah. Is it the fact that these guys are dangerous, or they show a different side of them that doesn't imply that they're boring, that incites the moisture of the viscous innards? Is this why they prefer to be over there with the bad boys? I mean, because I'm like, you hear one side saying ain't no good men out there, but your actions are telling me that what you say and what you actually want is completely different.
I guess it depends on what their version of a good man is.
Shit, seem like criminals to me.
Well,
Either,
I mean, that's everybody's got a type.
all right, better question. Who's more likely to be forthcoming about the things that they are attractive to, men or women in general? I'm not talking about that small minority. I'm just talking about overall. Who's more truthful about this is what I like here. I don't have to beat around the bush and lie about what I want. This is what it is. I'm not going to tell you that this is what it is, and it's not what it is.
Yeah, I can't say either or, man. Again, it's based off experiences, and then just being communicative, because some people may view that as being confrontational, you know what I mean, or disrespectful, and that's the issues we have with the barriers with communication is, you know, allowing people and wanting people to be upfront and honest. But again, everybody deals with their own traumas and issues they may have experienced in the past. You know, it's hard to be open with somebody about what you like or what you're interested in if you don't know. And the other thing that's hard to do is be open and express yourself with somebody. If you were with somebody in the past, they probably used to shut you down all the time. So again, it just varies. But men are probably more open to just saying some rude and outlandish shit. Might not necessarily mean that's what they actually like. Because nowadays, everybody is liking what everybody else is liking and doing. So it's kind of a hard question to answer.
All right, here's another one. Who's more likely to get pushback for their preferences?
I think it's equal, man. Just because of the world we live in now, everybody's so quick to shame people, and with cancel culture coming up not too long ago, it just depends on what's more favorable. But again, it could go either way. You talking online, you talking in person. You know, people may be more open online because they can hide behind that mask and that computer screen versus in person. So again, it just depends on the individuals.
I don't know the statistics. I can't even say whether or not this is accurate or not, but I've covered way more stories of women dealing with inmates than female inmates dealing with civilians or correctional officers. And I don't know if it's just because they just smarter at covering up their tracks or not, or maybe it's just it's not happening as much. I do believe that the male guards are sleeping with the women inmates as well, but I don't hear about that so much.
Yeah, maybe because it might not be something. It may be something about the technique. It may be something about how they go about talking about it, bragging about it. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the situation. And then you say you've covered them, so it just depends also on the process of going about looking out that information, because I'm sure it's out there. It just depends on what's more entertaining, and what's more appealing.
How do we get here when we sleeping with prisoners? Matter of fact, that's probably a dumb question, because everybody is sleeping with somebody on the job. Don't even matter. Like shit. It don't even matter if you in a prison for real. You could be Amazon. I keep hearing Amazon is one of the main places where everybody be fucking around. Everybody. So you got McDonald's, you got the warehouses, you got the lawyers' offices. It's going down everywhere for real.
Man, it used to be a code where you don't shit where you eat. You know what I mean? That way you don't have those issues at work. But people have become so obsessed with having these conversations, and they just share everything. Intimate details. They share the good, the bad, more so the bad than the good. And then these people, they just find the end on how to become. I mean, it's trauma bonding. Okay, somebody's treating you that way, you find your way to get in there, and then you start providing that information that makes them feel good. You find out all the things that they're not getting, from home or from wherever, if they even have a significant other. And then you just provide all the things that your man won't do, like Joe said. You know what I mean? So you provide those things, the intimate time that you spend together, 8 hours at work. Versus you go home and then it might be not necessarily a happy place or a comfortable environment to be in. And so now you're yearning to get back to work, to be with whoever it is at work that you spend most of your time with, you eat with, go out to have drinks with, and then that just creates that environment. If you're not mentally strong enough, to be in that type of situation, more or less you're the prey or the predator. And then that's what opens up those connections, the connectivity points to where people think that this person understands me and this person gets me, and they might not see what the objective is or what the intent from that other person.
And then you find out that you're not really into the person like you thought you was. Like you have this fixated imagination of what it could be like because, well, you're not around them all the time. So you got two different lives. You got one at home, you got one on the job. The person at the job you don't have to see every single day, over the weekends and on holidays and et cetera, et cetera. You see them for a few hours and then you go home. The other person you're laying next to, you're constantly in each other's skin, essentially. So of course you're going to get bored or get tired of the routine. You see something new and it seems like it's exciting. And it might be for a while until you have to line up with your beliefs and find out that you're not as equally matched as you thought you was. I just wish people would be more honest with themselves. We would be in a better space. You wouldn't have to feel so divided with your time and attention, because if you really just want to explore different options, then you could just say it and then let people decide if that's what they want to do. But to be fucking with inmates, these niggas is in there getting backdoored and all type of shit. That's nasty work. You don't know what the hell they got in there. You don't know what the hell they experiment with and just that. I don't know. That shit weird to me. But I have a problem with officers, specifically law enforcement. It seems like the code don't exist no more. Whatever you do off the clock, that's cool. Matter of fact, you don't have to fuck with inmates. If you want to do that, do it outside of the job. There's plenty of men out here that's willing to throw their life away or entertain you. You can do that outside of the job. Why have it there? You know what I'm saying? But I guess it's convenience. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we looked at it as convenience. I mean, you're looking at these officers, no different from these students. I mean, these teachers. You know what I mean? And then, like you said, the RNs in the hospital. I mean, yeah, it's some people that's their second lives, or that's the one they end up putting before their first lives, and now you got the convenience of, you know, pitch and woo while you're on the job, and then they building relationships. Some type of void is being filled if they're doing exchanging favors for one another. So I mean, that's another thing. So again, it just goes back to unprofessional relationships, you know, taking the job serious, like you said, taking the bad serious, different things of that nature. So it's definitely seems to be an issue out there where, you know, people they can't draw the line. And then people complain about the codes and the regulations and stuff that the jobs have, you know, and then you see, especially now, this stuff being online. Why would this stuff be so accessible and be blasted all throughout social media? So, you know, again, it just depends on what the intent. Are they using this stuff to kind of shame them, or using it for work footage, to talk about professional and unprofessional behaviors and relationships? You know, what's going on? What are they doing to fix these issues? So that would be the questions that I would be curious about. You know, what type of HR programs, and then what type of disciplinary action do they have? Because she seemed pretty comfortable riding around town talking about having those conversations and doing all of that stuff while being on duty, supposed to be serving and protecting. But like she was serving and protecting the wrong things.
It reminded me of, I don't know if anybody's seen The Departed. It was basically they had the inside man working for the that fucking